You know, there comes a time in life when we start thinking about what's next, what the future might look like, especially as we get a little older. Maybe you've found yourself wondering, what happens if I need a little extra help down the road? Is a nursing home my only option? Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not. In fact, there are so many wonderful alternatives out there that can give you the support you need while still allowing you to enjoy your independence, your freedom, and your comfort. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Now, I know the idea of moving into a nursing home can feel a bit overwhelming, and honestly, it's not the right fit for everyone. Maybe you're someone who values your privacy, your routines, and the little things that make your house feel like a home. Or perhaps you're just not ready to give up that sense of control over your daily life. And you know what? That's completely okay. There are options out there that can give you the best of both worlds, support when you need it, and the freedom to live life on your terms. So, in this video, we're going to explore 5 of the best alternatives to nursing homes. These are options that provide more flexibility, more comfort, and more opportunities to stay connected to the things and people you love. Whether you're planning for yourself or helping a loved one make these decisions, I want you to walk away feeling informed, empowered, and maybe even a little excited about the possibilities. Let's start with the first alternative, because it's one that's becoming more and more popular these days: assisted living communities. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that just another name for a nursing home? Not at all. Assisted living is designed for people who need some help with daily tasks, things like cooking, cleaning, or managing medications, but who don't require the round-the-clock medical care that a nursing home provides. Think of it as having your own apartment, but with a little extra support when you need it. One of the best things about assisted living is that it's all about balance. You get to maintain your independence, but you also have access to amenities and services that make life easier. Many communities offer things like fitness classes, social events, and even transportation services, so you can stay active and engaged. And if you ever need a hand with something, there's always someone there to help. It's like having the best of both worlds, freedom and support, all in one place. Now, let's talk about another great option: in-home care. This is perfect for anyone who wants to stay right where they are in the comfort of their own home. With in-home care, a trained caregiver comes to your house to help with whatever you need, whether that's personal care, household chores, or even just companionship. It's a flexible solution that can be tailored to your specific needs, and it allows you to stay in the place where you feel most at ease. Imagine waking up in your own bed, having breakfast in your own kitchen, and spending the day in the space you've filled with memories over the years. In-home care makes that possible, even if you need a little extra help to make it happen. And the best part? You're in control. You get to decide what kind of help you need and when you need it. It's a wonderful way to maintain your independence while still getting the support you deserve. Now, before we move on to the next alternative, I want to take a moment to acknowledge something. Making these kinds of decisions can feel overwhelming, especially when there are so many options to consider. But here's the thing: you don't have to figure it all out on your own. There are resources and professionals out there who can help guide you through the process. So, if you're feeling unsure, don't hesitate to reach out for support. You're not alone in this, and there are people who genuinely want to help you find the best solution for your needs. All right, let's keep going. The next alternative we're going to talk about is continuing care retirement communities, or CCRCs. These are a bit different from assisted living because they offer a full range of care options all in one place. You might start out living independently in your own apartment or cottage, and if your needs change over time, you can transition to assisted living or even skilled nursing care, all without having to move to a new location. CCRCs are a great option for anyone who wants to plan ahead and have peace of mind, knowing that their future needs will be taken care of. They're also wonderful for couples who have different care needs. For example, one partner might need more assistance while the other is still fully independent. In a CCRC, they can both get the level of care they need while still living close to each other. It's a really thoughtful way to approach aging, and it takes a lot of the worry out of planning for the future. Now, I know we've covered a lot already, but we're just getting started. There are still a couple more alternatives to explore, and I think you're going to find them just as interesting and helpful as the ones we've talked about so far. So, let's take a quick pause here, and when we come back, we'll dive into the next options that could make all the difference in your life or the life of someone you care about. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Absolutely. Let's keep the conversation going. Now that we've talked about assisted living, in-home care, and continuing care retirement communities, let's explore another fantastic alternative: senior co-housing. This is a concept that's been gaining traction in recent years, and for good reason. It's all about creating a community where seniors can live independently, but still have the support and companionship of their peers. Imagine living in a neighborhood where your neighbors are also your friends, people who share your interests, your values, and your stage of life. In a senior co-housing community, you have your own private home or apartment, but there are also shared spaces where everyone can come together. Think communal gardens, shared dining areas, or even a workshop where you can pursue hobbies and projects. It's like having the best parts of a close-knit neighborhood, but with the added benefit of knowing that everyone is there to support each other. One of the things I love most about senior co-housing is the sense of belonging it creates. As we get older, it's easy to feel isolated, especially if we've lost a spouse or if our family lives far away. But in a co-housing community, you're surrounded by people who genuinely care about you. You can share meals, celebrate holidays, or just sit and chat over a cup of coffee. It's a wonderful way to stay connected and engaged, and it can make a huge difference in your overall well-being. Now let's move on to our next alternative: adult daycare centers. This is a great option for anyone who needs some extra support during the day, but wants to continue living at home. Adult daycare centers offer a safe, welcoming environment where seniors can spend their days participating in activities, socializing, and receiving any care they might need. Then, in the evening, they return home to their own space. These centers are perfect for people who might need a little help with things like medication management, physical therapy, or even just getting around. But they're also a fantastic way to stay active and engaged. Many centers offer a wide range of activities, from arts and crafts to exercise classes to group outings. It's a chance to meet new people, try new things, and keep your mind and body active. And for caregivers, it can be a much-needed break, knowing that their loved one is in good hands during the day. What's really great about adult daycare centers is that they're flexible. You can choose to go just a few days a week or every day, depending on your needs. It's a way to get the support you need without giving up your independence. Plus, it's often more affordable than other care options, which can be a big relief for many families. Now, before we wrap up this part of the conversation, I want to take a moment to reflect on something. All of these alternatives we've talked about, assisted living, in-home care, continuing care retirement communities, senior co-housing, and adult daycare centers, have one thing in common: they're all about giving you choices. They're about finding a way to live that feels right for you, whether that means staying in your own home, moving to a community, or something in between. And that's really what this is all about: finding a solution that allows you to live your life on your terms. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about getting the care you need. It's about staying connected to the things that matter most to you. It's about maintaining your independence, your dignity, and your joy. So as we move forward, I want you to think about what's most important to you. What does your ideal living situation look like? What kind of support would make your life easier, without taking away the things you love? These are the questions that will help guide you as you explore your options and make decisions about the future. And remember, you don't have to have all the answers right now. This is a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. The most important thing is that you're thinking about it, you're exploring your options, and you're taking control of your future. And that's something to be proud of. Alright, we've covered a lot of ground so far, but there's still more to explore. In the next part of our conversation, we'll dive into the final alternatives and wrap things up with some practical tips and advice to help you make the best decision for yourself or your loved one. So stay with me, we're just getting to the good stuff. Let's keep moving forward. because we're about to dive into the final alternatives that could truly transform how you or your loved one approaches this next chapter of life. These options are just as thoughtful, practical, and empowering as the ones we've already discussed, and I think you'll find them just as inspiring. So, let's jump right in. The next alternative I want to talk about is respite care. Now, this one is a bit different from the others because it's designed to be a short-term solution, but it's incredibly valuable, especially for caregivers. Respite care provides temporary relief for family members or friends who are caring for a loved one. It allows the primary caregiver to take a break, whether that's for a few hours, a few days, or even a few weeks, while their loved one receives care in a safe and supportive environment. Respite care can take many forms. It might mean staying in a specialized facility for a short period, or it could involve bringing in a professional caregiver to your home. Either way, the goal is the same: to give everyone a chance to recharge. Caregiving is a deeply rewarding role, but it can also be exhausting, both physically and emotionally. Respite care ensures that caregivers get the rest they need so they can continue to provide the best possible care for their loved one. But respite care isn't just for caregivers. It's also a great option for seniors who might need a little extra help during a transitional period. For example, if you're recovering from surgery or an illness, respite care can provide the support you need to get back on your feet. It's a flexible, temporary solution that can make a big difference during challenging times. Now let's talk about our final alternative: village networks. This is a relatively new concept, but it's one that's really catching on, and for good reason. Village networks are member-driven organizations that help seniors stay in their own homes and communities as they age. They're not physical places, but rather networks of people who come together to support each other. Here's how it works. You join a village network in your area, and in return you get access to a wide range of services and resources. This might include things like transportation to appointments, help with household chores, or even social events and activities. The idea is to create a sense of community where everyone looks out for each other. It's like having a group of neighbors who are always there to lend a hand. What's really special about village networks is that they're all about mutual support. Members often volunteer their time to help others, whether that's by driving someone to the grocery store, helping with yard work, or just stopping by for a friendly visit. It's a way to stay connected and engaged while also giving back to the community. And because it's member-driven, it's tailored to the specific needs and interests of the people involved. Village networks are a wonderful option for anyone who wants to stay in their own home, but still have access to the support they need. They're also a great way to combat loneliness and isolation, which can be such a challenge as we get older. By joining a village network, you're not just getting help, you're becoming part of a community that values connection, kindness, and mutual support. Now, before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered so far. We've talked about assisted living, in-home care, continuing care retirement communities, senior co-housing, adult day care centers, respite care, and village networks. Each of these options offers something unique, but they all share a common goal: to help you live your best life, no matter what stage of life you're in. The beauty of these alternatives is that they give you choices. They allow you to find a solution that fits your needs, your preferences, and your lifestyle. Whether you're looking for a little extra help at home, a supportive community, or a temporary solution during a challenging time, there's an option out there for you. And that's really what this is all about: empowering you to make decisions that feel right for you. As we bring this part of the conversation to a close, I want to leave you with a few things to think about. First, take some time to reflect on what's most important to you. What kind of support would make your life easier? What kind of environment would make you feel most comfortable and happy? These are the questions that will help guide you as you explore your options. Second, don't be afraid to ask for help. Whether it's talking to a family member, consulting with a professional, or reaching out to a local organization, there are people who can help you navigate this process. You don't have to do it alone. And finally, remember that this is your life, and you deserve to live it on your terms. Whether you choose one of the alternatives we've talked about today, or something else entirely, the most important thing is that it feels right for you. You've worked hard to get where you are, and you deserve to enjoy this next chapter with all the freedom, comfort and joy that life has to offer. So as we move into the final part of our conversation, we'll tie everything together and give you some practical tips to help you make the best decision for yourself or your loved one. We'll also talk about how to take the first steps toward creating a plan that works for you. So stay with me, we're almost there and I promise it's going to be worth it. Let's bring this conversation home. We've explored so many wonderful alternatives to nursing homes, each offering its own unique blend of support, freedom, and comfort. Now it's time to tie everything together and give you some practical advice to help you take the next steps. Whether you're planning for yourself or helping a loved one, this is where we turn all that information into action. First, let's take a moment to recap what we've covered. We've talked about assisted living communities, which offer a balance of independence and support, in-home care, which allows you to stay in the comfort of your own home. Continuing care retirement communities which provide a full range of care options as your needs change. Senior cohousing, which creates a close-knit community of peers, adult daycare centers, which offer daytime support and activities. Respite care, which gives caregivers a much-needed break, and village networks which build a sense of community and mutual support. Each of these options is designed to help you live your best life, no matter what your needs might be. Now the question is, how do you decide which one is right for you? It can feel overwhelming, I know, but let's break it down into manageable steps. The first thing to do is assess your needs. Take some time to think about what kind of support you require right now and what you might need in the future. Are you looking for help with daily tasks like cooking or cleaning? Do you need medical care or therapy? Or are you mostly looking for social opportunities and a sense of community? Being clear about your needs will help you narrow down your options. Next, consider your preferences. Do you want to stay in your own home, or are you open to moving to a new community? Do you value privacy, or do you thrive in a more social environment? There's no right or wrong answer here, it's all about what feels right for you. And remember, your preferences might change over time, and that's okay. The goal is to find a solution that works for you right now, with the flexibility to adapt as needed. Once you've identified your needs and preferences, it's time to explore your options. This might mean visiting local assisted living communities, talking to in-home care agencies, or reaching out to a village network in your area. Don't be afraid to ask questions, lots of them. What services are included? What's the cost? What's the community like? The more information you have, the better equipped you'll be to make a decision. And speaking of cost, let's talk about that for a moment. Finances are a big part of this decision, and it's important to understand your budget. Some options, like in-home care or adult daycare centers, might be more affordable than others, like continuing care retirement communities. But don't let cost be the only factor in your decision. There are often resources available to help, whether it's through government programs, nonprofit organizations, or even family support. It's worth taking the time to explore all your options and see what's possible. Now here's something I really want to emphasize. You don't have to do this alone. Making these kinds of decisions can feel overwhelming, but there are people who can help. Talk to your family, your friends, or your doctor. Reach out to local organizations or senior centers. There are professionals who specialize in helping seniors and their families navigate these choices, and they can be an invaluable resource. Don't hesitate to lean on them for support. As you start to narrow down your options, I encourage you to trust your instincts. You know yourself better than anyone else, and you know what feels right. If you visit a community and it doesn't feel like a good fit, that's okay. Keep looking. The right option is out there, and it's worth taking the time to find it. And finally, remember that this is a journey. It's okay to take it one step at a time. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Start by exploring one or two options that seem like a good fit, and go from there. The most important thing is that you're taking control of your future and making decisions that will help you live your best life. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Aging is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to mean giving up the things you love. With the right support and the right plan, you can continue to live a life full of freedom, comfort, and joy. Whether you choose assisted living, in-home care, or something else entirely, the goal is the same: to create a life that feels good to you. So, take a deep breath and know that you've got this. You've already taken the first step by learning about your options, and that's something to be proud of. The next step is to start exploring, asking questions, and making a plan. And remember, you're not alone. There are people and resources out there to help you every step of the way. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What resonated with you? What questions do you still have? And if you know someone who might benefit from this information, please share it with them. Let's help each other live our best lives, no matter what age we are. And of course, if you haven't already, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more tips, advice, and inspiration. Here's to living a life full of freedom, comfort, and joy at any age. Take care, and I'll see you next time.